What's good, y'all? It's the receiver teacher. I just want to hop on here real quick today and sort of elaborate on my post from yesterday on my Instagram about diamond release slants. All right, so if you don't know what that is, I'm just going to draw it up real quick. So diamond release, let's say you're lined up and DB is slightly inside. All right, the goal is to take an outside release, aiming for his outside shoulder. All right, outside shoulder, so that he opens his hips. He's thinking fade ball, and then you break it back underneath him to the slant, all right, taking a flat angle. Because normally, you might want to take an inside release, straighten up, re-stem vertical, and then break to your slant, which is cool. You can do that too, but it's good to mix it up and, have both of these in your bag. Let's say a DB is hard inside and you can't take the inside. It's good to know how to do this. So this is me earlier this year. This is a good example. And the main keys that I outline on my Instagram as well is aim for the outside shoulder, all right, and give a vertical push, all right. Threaten this DB. A DB will only open his hips if he's threatened, all right. So the goal is to come off with speed and take a proper angle, all right. So an angle at his outside shoulder. Don't just widen out to widen out, all right. Don't just think, oh, I'm getting open. You got to make it believable. Make it look like a fade. You would never just bubble out, take a bubble release on a fade. So why would you do it when you're trying to sell like you're doing a fade? You know what I mean? So right here, I come off the ball, give a little stutter. I'm kind of reading the DB. I can see he's giving me space. So now everything about my body language needs to self fade. All right. So boom, give a quick burst. All right. And right when you feel the DB open his hips, right here, because he sees my body language. Everything, look at my body lean. All right. So I'm leaning. Everything's going forward, and then boom. All right. Snap it back across his face, and that only happens because you threaten vertical. All right. So a lot of people. We're gonna take a look at another example. So right here, that's a perfect example of what you don't want to do. All right. So he comes off, and a lot of young receivers, they'll just focus on the lateral aspect, moving laterally, and never actually give a vertical push and make the DB think you're going to the fade. All right. So right here, it's a bunch of choppy steps, choppy step, choppy step, choppy step. All right, he makes his first move, and then he never fully opens his stride. It never actually looks like a fade, and he's focused too much on going side to side rather than threatening the DB vertical. All right, so that's when you come into problems, and he can just stay in leverage. All right, this is a great job by the DB staying square, but when you face a technically sound DB, you got to do all the little things right. All right, so aim for the outside shoulder right here. This is the right shoulder, and with speed, get him out of there. All right, get him to open his hips, and then right when you feel that, cross back across his face. All right, and some people might say this one is an example of someone trying to do too much. He's doing too many moves, but you could argue that, I guess. But we're gonna take a look at another example here. Pretty much the same route right here. That's Elijah Moore. All right, just a better example. So right here, he comes off, gives his nice little stutter, and then he's square to the DB. And then watch the difference though. Watch the difference in the burst he gives to the outside, forcing the DB to open his hips. All right, because when he's right here, he's not going to give Elijah Moore just this free release to the fade. All right, he would never do that. He's getting burned, so he's got to respect that. When your body language, everything is going fade, everything is head down, going straight forward. The DB has to respect that. He's going to open his hips, and you can only get open on these if you sell the first part of the route. All right, if you sell the first part of the diamond release right here, the burst outside, that's what's going to get you open. That's what's going to get you the space to come back, and he's not just going to be able to stay in leverage because you got to respect that fade. All right. So if we go back right here, this, you can come off the ball, a little stutter, read what the DB is giving you. All right here, but then at a certain point, for the diamond release aspect, you really got to give a burst, and you got to sell it with your body language. All right, get the DB to turn his hips. It's right here, right when you feel his hips turn, boom, and then you come out flat. Don't let this guy recover. All right, don't start drifting here when you make your break because the ball's coming. You want to get your yak yards. No, you got to keep going on a flat angle because when you're going against the best DBs, all right, they'll out angle you to the ball all the time. right? If you take poor angles out of your breaks, or if you don't, hold your line, they're gonna be able to recover and make plays. All right, so I hope this helps. I hope this clears it up. This is how to diamond release, and yeah, follow us, Receiver Teacher, all platforms, for the best receiver content.